The history we know today might not be the full truth. What if some of the biggest events in the world were manipulated, covered up, or even rewritten? Imagine spending years believing one version of history, only to find out that the real story was buried deep beneath lies and propaganda. This is not just a theory. It has happened time and again. Some of the most powerful nations and leaders have hidden facts, changed narratives, and influenced what people believe. But now, with modern technology and independent researchers, shocking truths are coming to light. From secret deals that shaped world wars to hidden documents that reveal the real motives behind historical decisions. These revelations challenge everything we thought we knew. The question is, can we handle the truth, or will history continue to be written by the victors? One of the most debated topics right now is the real cause behind major wars. Official textbooks tell us that World War I started because of the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand. But what if that was just an excuse? Some historians now claim that powerful banking families and arms industries had been pushing for war long before the assassination. These groups allegedly funded both sides, ensuring that no matter who won, they would profit. The same patterns were seen in World War II, with reports that some Western companies had financial ties to both the Allies and the Axis. These are not conspiracy theories. They are backed by declassified documents and financial records. If true, this means millions of people fought and died for reasons they never even knew. But why is this information not widely discussed? The answer might lie in who controls the media and education systems. Another massive controversy surrounds the Cold War and the real reasons behind the US and USSR's global conflicts. We were taught that it was a battle of ideologies, capitalism versus communism. But recently, some leaked files suggest that both superpowers were, at times, secretly working together while pretending to be enemies. There is evidence of secret meetings, economic deals, and shared intelligence between these supposed rivals. If this is true, then the entire Cold War narrative we learned in school was only half the story. The people were made to believe in a global struggle, while political leaders played a different game behind closed doors. And this raises a bigger question. What other historical events have been staged, exaggerated, or completely rewritten for the sake of power and control? While wars and political conflicts dominate historical controversies, some of the biggest revelations are about leaders themselves. Many iconic figures are remembered as heroes. But what if their true actions were far from noble? Take Christopher Columbus, for example. For centuries, he was celebrated as the brave explorer who discovered America. But modern historians have exposed a darker truth. Columbus didn't just explore, he enslaved and exploited native populations. Historical records show that he and his men brutally mistreated indigenous people, forcing them into labor and punishing those who resisted. Despite these facts, his name remains in history books as a great explorer. This raises an important question. How many other leaders have been glorified while their crimes were quietly erased from history? Another shocking debate revolves around one of the most well-known U.S. presidents, John F. Kennedy. His assassination in 1963 is officially recorded as the act of a lone gunman, Lee Harvey Oswald. But to this day, many believe the truth is much bigger. Declassified documents and eyewitness testimonies suggest the involvement of intelligence agencies and powerful political figures. Some experts argue that Kennedy's push against war policies and his efforts to reduce government corruption made him a target. If this theory is true, it means one of the most famous assassinations in history was not just a random act of violence, but a well-planned conspiracy. And if such a cover-up could happen to a world leader, how many other critical events have been hidden from public view? Even scientific discoveries are not free from controversy. Many people believe that scientific progress is driven by pure curiosity and a desire to help humanity. But history reveals a different picture. One where major discoveries were suppressed or stolen for the benefit of the powerful. Take Nikola Tesla, a genius inventor who created groundbreaking technology, including wireless electricity. According to some reports, Tesla had developed an energy system that could provide free electricity to everyone. But his funding was suddenly cut off, and his research mysteriously disappeared after his death. Some believe that powerful business tycoons and energy companies buried his work to maintain their control over electricity profits. If true, this means the world could have been decades ahead in technological progress, but greed and power stopped it from happening. History is not just about wars and politics. Some of the biggest controversies are hidden in religion and culture. Throughout time, religious institutions have played a major role in shaping society. But what if some of their teachings were changed for power and control? One of the most debated topics is the lost books of religious texts. Many historians believe that early religious leaders removed or altered certain scriptures to fit their own agendas. For example, there are ancient texts discovered in the last century, like the Dead Sea Scrolls and the Gospel of Judas, that suggest different interpretations of well-known religious figures. If these texts had been included in holy books, our understanding of religion might have been completely different today. But instead of being openly discussed, these discoveries are often dismissed or ignored. This raises a deep question. Is history hiding the full truth about faith? Or have we only been given the version that benefits the most powerful? Another major controversy is the true origins of famous monuments. The pyramids of Egypt, the Great Wall of China, and even Stonehenge are marvels of architecture. But some theories challenge what we've been taught. One of the biggest debates is about who really built the pyramids. Traditional history tells us they were constructed by thousands of workers over decades. But some researchers argue that the precision and alignment of the pyramids suggest advanced knowledge of mathematics and astronomy, far beyond what ancient civilizations were supposed to have. Some even claim that lost civilizations or unknown technologies may have been involved. If this theory holds any truth, then it completely changes our understanding of early human history and development. Modern history also has its share of hidden secrets, especially in the world of technology and government surveillance. Whistleblowers like Edward Snowden revealed how governments secretly spy on their own citizens. But what if this is just the surface? Many experts believe that powerful nations have been collecting massive amounts of personal data for decades, using it to influence politics, economies, and even public opinions. The rise of artificial intelligence has only increased these concerns. Some claim that social media algorithms and digital assistants are being used to shape our thoughts without us even realizing it. If true, then the biggest battles of history are no longer fought on battlefields, but in the digital world, where control over information is the new form of power. History is full of events that seem natural or accidental. But what if some of them were deliberately planned? One of the biggest debates today is about economic crashes and financial crises. We have always been told that economic collapses happen due to bad policies, market failures, or unpredictable events. But some researchers argue that certain financial crises were intentionally created by powerful elites. Take the Great Depression of 1929 or the 2008 financial crisis. Both caused massive suffering for millions. But a small group of bankers and investors became even richer during these times. Some reports suggest that these crashes were not accidents, but strategic moves to shift wealth and control into the hands of the few. If this is true, then the biggest financial disasters in history were not just economic mistakes, but carefully designed plans that benefited only those in power. Another major controversy is the real reason behind space exploration. We are told that space agencies like NASA and SpaceX are exploring the universe for the benefit of humanity. But what if there is more to it? Some leaked government documents suggest that space programs have military and intelligence purposes beyond what is publicly admitted. The idea that nations are racing to colonize space for resources, not just scientific discovery, is gaining attention. There are even theories that the moon landing itself was staged, with claims that certain video footage from 1969 contains suspicious inconsistencies. While mainstream scientists reject this idea, the debate continues. Are we being told the full truth about space, or is there an agenda behind the missions? The entertainment industry is also not free from controversy. Many people see movies, music, and television as just entertainment, but some believe there is a deeper influence at play. There have been multiple cases where artists, writers, and filmmakers hinted that they were being pressured to include specific messages in their work. Some musicians have openly spoken about being controlled by industry executives who dictate what kind of music gets promoted. In Hollywood, many famous actors and directors have mysteriously disappeared from the industry after speaking out against powerful figures. If these claims are real, then the entertainment industry is not just about creativity. It's a carefully controlled tool used to shape public perception and maintain power structures. One of the most heated debates in recent history revolves around the pharmaceutical industry and healthcare. We are taught that modern medicine is designed to cure diseases and improve human life. But what if profit is the real motive? Some experts argue that big pharmaceutical companies focus more on long-term treatments rather than actual cures. The reason? Curing a disease means a one-time solution, but a treatment that needs to be taken for life guarantees continuous profit. Reports suggest that certain natural or alternative treatments for major illnesses have been suppressed, either through legal restrictions or by discrediting scientists who promote them. If this theory is true, then millions of people are suffering unnecessarily while corporations prioritize financial gain over human health. Another deep controversy is related to climate change. While most scientists agree that climate change is a real and urgent issue, some argue that certain industries and governments manipulate environmental data for their own benefit. There are claims that some major corporations fund studies that either exaggerate or downplay climate issues, depending on their financial interests. At the same time, governments use climate policies to introduce strict regulations that increase their control over businesses and everyday people. Some critics even question whether the push for electric cars and renewable energy is really about saving the planet or
just a new way for big industries to dominate the global market. The truth may be far more complex than what we are told. And then, there's the question of hidden human history. The world is full of mysterious structures and ancient artifacts that challenge the official timeline of civilization. Archaeologists have discovered ancient ruins that are thousands of years older than what mainstream history books suggest. For example, sites like Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, which date back over 12,000 years, suggest that advanced human societies existed long before we thought. Some even claim that lost civilizations with knowledge of science, engineering, and astronomy disappeared under unknown circumstances. If this is true, then history is far older and more complex than what we have been taught.
Could it be that the truth about our past is deliberately hidden to maintain a certain narrative about human progress? One of the most unsettling controversies today is the rise of artificial intelligence and its true purpose. We are told that AI is being developed to assist humans, make life easier, and revolutionize industries. But some experts warn that AI is not just a tool, it is a means of control. Governments and big tech companies have access to AI systems that can analyze human behavior, predict actions, and manipulate public opinion. Algorithms decide what news we see, what products we buy, and even what political opinions become popular. Some believe that AI is being weaponized, not to help people, but to control societies by shaping narratives and suppressing free thought. If this is true, then AI is not the future. It is the new battlefield where the most powerful fight to control information and influence entire populations. Another major mystery is the secrecy surrounding Antarctica. This frozen continent is supposedly just a land of ice and scientific research, but many believe there is much more hidden beneath its surface. Some classified military reports suggest that world governments have restricted access to certain areas in Antarctica. Conspiracy theories claim that lost civilizations, ancient structures, or even unknown life forms might exist beneath the ice. Even stranger, some historical maps from centuries ago show Antarctica without ice, suggesting that people in the distant past knew more about the region than we do today. If there is nothing to hide, why are certain areas so heavily restricted? Could there be secrets buried deep within Antarctica that would change our understanding of history and geography? Perhaps one of the greatest cover-ups in history is the manipulation of mainstream media. Most people trust news channels, newspapers, and online articles to provide facts. But what if much of what we read and watch is carefully controlled? Leaked documents from major media organizations suggest that powerful individuals and corporations influence what news gets reported and what gets ignored. Governments have been caught secretly funding news stories to push specific agendas, while journalists who try to expose corruption are often silenced or discredited. If this is true, then the media is not just informing people. It is shaping their beliefs, controlling their emotions, and keeping the public distracted from real issues. If we cannot trust the news, then how much of what we know about history, politics, and even daily life is actually real? The influence of secret societies in history has always been a topic of debate. While many believe these groups exist only in fiction, historical evidence suggests that powerful organizations have played a role in shaping world events. Groups like the Freemasons, the Illuminati, and the Bilderberg Group are often linked to hidden political and economic agendas. Some researchers claim that these organizations work behind the scenes, influencing elections, wars, and financial policies.
Documents and leaked meetings show that some of the world's most powerful leaders have been part of these secret gatherings. The real question is, are these groups just elite clubs, or do they truly control the direction of global history? If these secret societies are as powerful as some believe, then many major events were not random. They were planned long before they happened. Another unexplored mystery is the sudden disappearance of entire civilizations. History has documented cases where advanced societies vanished without explanation. The Mayan civilization, for example, had a complex understanding of astronomy, architecture, and mathematics. Yet it suddenly collapsed. Similar disappearances happened with the Indus Valley civilization and the ancestral Puebloans in North America. Some scientists suggest climate change or natural disasters as reasons, but there are alternative theories, ranging from lost technologies to external interference. Could it be that these civilizations possessed knowledge that was erased from history? If so, then our understanding of human progress is incomplete, and there might be lost wisdom that could change the world today. Perhaps the most shocking theory is about time manipulation. Whether powerful governments or secret organizations have found ways to alter or control time. While time travel is considered science fiction, some historical events have unexplained patterns, as if certain outcomes were repeated or influenced. Some documents suggest that classified experiments involving time distortion were conducted during World War II and the Cold War. Even stranger, some researchers point to historical anomalies, where modern technology appears in ancient artwork or old photographs. Is it possible that history is being rewritten in ways we cannot even comprehend? If any of these theories hold truth, then the biggest secret of all is that time itself may not be what we think it is.
One of the biggest ongoing debates is about human consciousness and whether our thoughts are truly our own. Some scientists believe that human brains can be influenced by external forces, whether through technology, psychological conditioning, or even unknown forms of energy. Governments and intelligence agencies have been caught experimenting with mind control techniques, such as the infamous MK Ultra project. This program, conducted by the CIA, aimed to manipulate human thoughts using drugs, hypnosis, and psychological torture. While it was officially shut down, some believe that more advanced forms of mind control still exist today. With the rise of social media, artificial intelligence, and digital algorithms, it is possible that mass populations are being subtly influenced without realizing it. If true, then free will may be more of an illusion than we ever imagined. Another deep mystery surrounds lost and suppressed inventions. History has recorded multiple cases where groundbreaking technologies suddenly disappeared or were never developed further. One famous example is the water-powered car. Several inventors have claimed to create engines that run on water instead of gasoline, yet their patents were either blocked or mysteriously disappeared. Some believe that energy companies and powerful corporations suppress these inventions to maintain their control over global fuel markets. Similarly, ancient cultures have shown signs of advanced engineering knowledge, such as the Baghdad battery or intricate metalwork from thousands of years ago. Could it be that technological progress is being controlled, allowing only certain inventions to reach the public while others are hidden forever? Finally, there is the growing concern about deepfake technology and its potential to rewrite history. With AI-generated videos and images becoming more realistic, some experts warn that the truth itself
could be manipulated in ways never seen before. Imagine a future where historical footage, political speeches, or even news events could be entirely faked, and no one would be able to tell the difference. This raises a terrifying possibility. What if some parts of history have already been altered using similar techniques? As deepfake technology advances, the line between reality and fiction will blur even further, making it harder to distinguish truth from deception. If we cannot trust what we see or hear, then how much of history itself can we truly believe? Perhaps one of the most unsettling debates in history is the true nature of pandemics and global health crises. While diseases have always existed, some researchers argue that certain outbreaks were not entirely natural. There are claims that viruses have been engineered or intentionally spread for economic and political gain. Documents from past decades reveal that major governments and pharmaceutical companies have conducted secret biological experiments, testing viruses on unsuspecting populations. The COVID-19 pandemic reignited these debates, with theories suggesting it may have been leaked from a lab rather than originating from nature. If these claims hold any truth, then the idea that public health is always the top priority might be a carefully constructed illusion, hiding a far more sinister reality. Another growing controversy is the idea of digital currencies and the future of financial control. Many people see the rise of cryptocurrencies and central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, as technological progress. But some critics warn that digital money could be the ultimate tool for control. Unlike cash, digital currencies can be tracked, restricted, or even erased by those in power. Some governments have already started testing financial systems where transactions can be monitored in real time. Imagine a world where your ability to buy and sell depends on whether you follow the rules set by financial elites. If this system is fully implemented, then financial freedom as we know it could disappear, and money itself could become a tool of absolute control. The final and perhaps most mysterious debate in history revolves around the existence of extraterrestrial life and whether we have already made contact. While governments have denied any direct interaction with aliens, leaked documents and declassified reports tell a different story. Whistleblowers from military and intelligence agencies have claimed that UFOs have been observed for decades, performing maneuvers far beyond human technology. Some even believe that secret agreements exist between world leaders and extraterrestrial beings, hidden from the public to prevent mass panic. If these theories are true, then history is not just about human civilization. It includes knowledge that has been deliberately kept from us. The real question is, are we truly alone? Or is the truth about extraterrestrial contact one of the biggest secrets ever hidden from humanity?
History is far more complex than what we are taught, and many of its biggest debates remain unresolved. The more we dig into these controversies, the more we realize that the past, present, and future may not be as simple as they seem. Always question what you are told and seek the truth for yourself. The world is full of hidden stories, and it's up to you to uncover them.